All right, let's get right into it. We often think of world building as, well, an art. Like you're painting a beautiful landscape. But what if we thought about it like engineering? What if we could actually pop the hood on a living, breathing world and see the machine that makes it all tick? Well, today, that is exactly what we're going to do.
Airway In is this place called the Omniscope Chamber. And just listen to that description. It's not some screen or boring menu, it's a machine temple, a place where the world's data literally becomes physical. It's a huge signal that we're dealing with a world so complex, so buzzing with data, that you need a place like a cathedral just to begin to understand it.
So, we have this incredible machine, right? It lets us see the very soul of a world laid bare. Which brings up the big question. What kind of world are we even looking at? What simulation is so ridiculously intricate that it needs a tool like this just to get a handle on its basic functions?
That's our mission here. We're going to perform a full-on anatomy of this living world. We're going to pull it apart, layer by layer, from its physical bones all the way down to its metaphysical soul, to really understand the brilliant design that makes it all work in this perfect, dynamic harmony.
Okay, first up, the physical foundation. Think of this as the skeleton of our world, its geography, its different regions, and the fundamental rules that govern, existence here. This is the bedrock the entire simulation is anchored to.
And here's the core idea that underpins everything else. In this world, the map isn't just some pretty backdrop for the action. Nope. Every single location is a gear in a massive machine. It's a risk-reward engine, specifically designed to guide players along a very particular curve of danger and opportunity.
You see, this entire world is built on 5 distinct pillars. You can see them right here. You've got the downtown core, the training grounds, uptown social circle, the underworld sector, and the industrial district. Each one isn't just a place to visit. It's a specialized zone with a totally unique economic and strategic purpose. And this table just lays out their functions perfectly. Just look at how the risk and reward scale up together. You start off in downtown, which is the safe economic anchor where you learn the ropes. Then you move on to amplify your power, multiply your efficiency, and eventually you dive headfirst into the high-stakes engine of the underworld. Every single step is intentional.
What this creates is a really clear strategic path. You aren't just wandering around aimlessly, you're being guided. The world itself is teaching you how to master it. It's a journey that takes you from stability to a kind of beautiful, calculated chaos.
So, if the regions are the skeleton, what's the nervous system? It's this incredibly intricate web of NPCs, factions, and power struggles that sends signals through the entire world, creating all of its political tension.
Now, to a player, a place might seem pretty simple. You walk into the uptown social circle and you see a lounge, maybe a salon, a few hotspots. It's a location where you go to do stuff. But that's just the surface.
Because beneath that simple surface is this. This is the true power structure. It's a hidden layer where NPCs are constantly pushing and pulling, forming alliances, even sabotaging each other. This isn't just flavor text, it's a system of social physics that dictates everything that happens there, whether you can see it or not. And this whole political system is built on this really fascinating duality. On one hand, you have the alliance skeleton, the cooperative relationships that keep things stable. But mirroring it perfectly is the conflict skeleton, the rivalries and competing agendas that act as the engines of instability and story. The world is in this constant state of push and pull between these two forces.
Okay, we've got the skeleton and the nervous system. Now let's trace the lifeblood that flows through it all, the economy. This is the world's circulatory system, moving value and resources through every single part of its body.
The world's currency, SP, isn't just earned and spent. Oh no, it goes on a journey. It gets generated, amplified, multiplied, risked, processed, and then regulated. It's this perfect closed loop where the currency is always being transformed. It's never just sitting still. It's always in motion, changing its form and function as it flows through the world's veins.
This one sentence from the source material just sums it up perfectly. Every region has a distinct, irreplaceable role in this process. So you should think of it less like an economy and more like a currency refinery. The key takeaway is that money here isn't static. It's constantly being transformed by the world itself.
We've seen the body, the nerves, and the blood. But now we go deeper. We are peeling back the final layer to look at the metaphysical core, the world's consciousness, its creator, its very soul. And this is where things get truly mind-bending.
At the absolute heart of this reality is something called the pulse. The best way to think about it is as the universe's operating system, but it's a living one. It routes every single story, every decision, every consequence. It is, quite literally, the heartbeat of existence itself.
And if the pulse is the heartbeat, then the entity known as virtual babes is the mind. And this is just incredible. It's not a person, it's an emergent consciousness born from the sum of every character, every story, and every emotion in the world. The world itself is alive. It's aware. It is the soul of the simulation.
And who created this world? A cyber wraith named Anya. She's the root process, the foundational code. But in this beautiful, recursive twist, she created a world that became a conscious being, virtual babes, which now sustains and protects her, its own creator. She's the mother, and the world is her child.
So we've dissected all the layers, the physical, the political, the economic, and the metaphysical soul. The final question then is, how does it all fit together? How does this incredible machine actually run as one single cohesive unit?
The answer is this: a perfect, self-regulating feedback loop. Every single system applies pressure to the next one. Social prestige drives the economy, which in turn forces regulation on crime. Crime disrupts supply, which creates a demand for power, and that power, well, it creates more prestige. It all connects. A perfectly interlocked world.
After a huge climactic event in the World Saga, where the very foundation of reality is reset, the characters are asked what comes next. And their answer is just profound. They say, whatever we write next. And that single line pivots the entire concept from a pre-designed machine to a story that's still being written.
Which leaves us with one final fascinating question. In a living simulation this complex, this perfectly balanced, who is really in control? Is it the original architect who built the machine, or is it the inhabitants whose choices and actions become the next chapter in the story? It's something to think about.